Ready to escape into a world of enchanting pixels? What is it, my peeps? And today we're going to be reading Thomas and Friends' The Sunken Treasure. The sun was shining brightly on the island of Sodor. It's a perfect day for racing, Birdie, Thomas thought. Express coming through, he peeped as he sped past Birdie. Inside Thomas's coaches, the passengers bounced about like peas in a frying pan. Slow down, Thomas, Annie said. You know that Sir Topham Hatt doesn't approve of you racing. Nonsense, Thomas puffed. I've been racing on my branch line for years. The next morning, Thomas was still in a racing mood. Instead of bringing Gordon his coaches, he sped off with the coaches himself. Thomas raced past Gordon, pushing the coaches faster and faster. Then cinders and ashes, Thomas gasped. Stopping suddenly at a red signal, the coaches flew off the tracks. Sir Topham Hatt was not happy with Thomas. He sent him to work on the new branch line that was being built. But sir, Thomas peeped, what about my branch line? A new tank engine named Ryan rolled up. I'll look after that line. Thomas could not believe it. Thomas went to work on the new branch line. There was danger at the construction site, but he didn't pay attention to the caution signs. Suddenly, the earth crumbled away beneath Thomas and the tracks buckled and broke. Thomas crashed down into a giant underground cavern. Fizzling fireboxes! Where am I? He peeped. As Thomas looked around the cavern, he saw something amazing. There in front of him was an old pirate ship. After Emily towed Thomas away for repairs, Rocky pulled the pirate ship up out of the cavern. How did that ship get in there? Alfie asked. Jack thought someone had built it in there, like a ship in a bottle. Nonsense, puffed Donald. There must have been a way to sail it in. If there's a buried pirate ship, then there must be buried treasure too, Marion peeped. Out in the bay, a mysterious sailor appeared in a sailboat. He was holding a telescope. Stop bobbing about, he said sternly to his tiny boat. Sorry, the boat replied. The sailor raised his telescope to watch the excitement at the construction site. He started to make a plan. That night, Thomas was feeling upset about Ryan, the new tank engine, so instead of sleeping at the sheds, he rolled into a siding. Suddenly, he heard rustling. He looked up and saw a ghost boat glowing in the dark. Thomas followed the eerie boat. A ghostly figure stood on its deck. The boat glided past the danger signs, right up to the edge of the hole that led into the cavern. That's when Thomas realized it wasn't a ghost boat. It's a man, and he's got wheels. Why are you sneaking about after me? The man asked. Thomas introduced himself. I discovered this cavern and the pirate ship, but Rocky got the credit instead. Well, that makes us friends, the man replied. My name is Sailor John. And I'm Skiff, the boat said. We're looking for treasure. Sailor John tied a rope around his waist. Thomas slowly lowered him into the cavern. Sailor John gave me wheels after he saw you found the ship, Skiff explained. This way we can search on land. Arr, I found it, Sailor John exclaimed from the hole. The treasure? Thomas and Skiff asked. No, the sailor called back. The map. Sailor John has found the treasure map. What will happen next? To find out, turn the book over and upside down and continue reading. Now we move on to Act 2, Thomas and the Lost Pirate. The sun was rising as Thomas returned to the construction site. Did I see you with a sailboat last night? Ryan asked him. No, you did not, Thomas peeped. It must have been a dream, Ryan said. Ryan filled it with coal out an old hopper. Thomas knew it was bad coal, but he didn't say anything. He was still annoyed with Ryan. Later on, Ryan fetched some dynamite for the construction work. When he returned, his funnel was spitting sparks because of the bad coal. The sparks set the trucks with the dynamite on fire. Thomas rushed to help. He tried to push the burning trucks out of the yard. In the confusion, the signalman switched the track, sending Thomas towards the cavern. Thomas's brakes squealed as the trucks rolled into the huge hole. The dynamite exploded. Bam! Blam! Bang! Kaboom! Sir Topham Hatt was very upset. He ordered Thomas to stay in his siding for the rest of the day. The other engines returned to work. The afternoon was quiet. Then, as Marion scooped up one last shovelful of dirt, clunk! She found the buried treasure chest. The next day, everyone was excited about the discovery. But there was only one person who wasn't pleased, Sailor John. I haven't searched all this time for someone else to find the treasure. Skiff was confused, but you always said we give it to a museum. It's my treasure, Sailor John growled. Thomas pushed Skiff and Sailor John aside and rushed away. At the end of the day, Thomas returned to the construction site. Ryan rolled up to him. "Thank you for helping me," Ryan peeped. "I'm sorry," Thomas replied. "I should have warned you about the bad coal." Ryan invited Thomas into the sheds. "I think I'll spend the night in Natford, just in case," Thomas replied. "In case of what?" Ryan asked, but Thomas was already gone. Also, Thomas's proportions here look very similar to his classic era model, minus the whistle and cab roof. Anyway, at Knapford Station, Thomas hid behind some sheds near Sir Topham Hatt's office where the treasure was locked away in a safe. Eventually, he fell asleep. As he slept, Skiff and Sailor John rolled up to the platform. "I don't want any part of this," Skiff protested, but Sailor John didn't listen. He wanted the treasure, and he took it. "Help!" Skiff cried. "Help!" His cries woke Thomas. As Sailor John and Skiff raced off, Thomas chased them. "You'll have to call me Pirate John from now on," the sailor yelled with an evil laugh. Honestly, why wasn't that revealed that Sailor John was actually Pirate John? That would have made more sense. Anyway. Thomas raced as fast as he could. He whistled a warning to all the nearby trains. The other engines rushed to help. They dumped some ballast on the tracks, but the escaping boat crashed right through. Ryan tried to slow them down too, but it didn't work. "Thomas!" Skiff shouted. "Run me off the rails! I won't mind!" Thomas sped up and bumped Skiff hard. The tiny boat flew off the rails and splashed into the harbor. Screech! Thomas tried to brake, but he couldn't stop. He leaped off the rails and came to rest in the water. Skiff rocked back and forth, taking on water. "The treasure's too heavy," he cried. "Throw it overboard or we'll be sunk." "No," shouted Sailor John. "Sail on, I tell you." Skiff hit Sailor John with his boom and knocked him into the water. In the commotion, the treasure toppled overboard. Too, it sank to the bottom. The police soon arrived and took Sailor John away. Divers rescued the treasure. It was delivered to the museum just in time for the completion of the new branch line. Sir Topham Hatt was very proud. "Thomas, you were always my #1 engine," he said. He let Thomas roll through and break the ribbon to open the line. Thomas was happy to be a really useful engine. He blew his whistle, and all the engines cheered. The end. Alright, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to y'all later.